everybody, welcome back to another Slimefun Tips and Tricks episode with your host Boomer. Today we're going to continue down this process of looking at all the different machines, how they relate to one another, speed, production, all that good stuff. Today we are now looking at ingot production. Last time around we focused on dust. Today we've got 5 different machines that we're going to look at. So to start with, we have our Ingot Factory level 1, level 2, level 3, and then we crank it up to infinity expansion, where we go to the Ingot Former, a relatively new machine within the last week, and the infinity ingot former. Now, there is another machine that does let you create ingots, and that is the foundry inside of Fluffy machines. Of all the machines in Slimefun, it's probably the fastest, simply because you just shift right click to pull out a stack at a time. But you aren't able to automate that process, and so therefore we're not going to feature the foundry today, simply for that reason, as we can't compare it in the exact same setting. You can have dust go into the foundry, it stores it, you can pull them out stacks at a time without having to smelt it, but it's not automatable. So we're going to compare these 5 machines. So let's get into the guide first. We'll start with the Ingot Factories. So level 1 is a speed of 1 time. And remember again, a speed 1 on one machine doesn't mean that all machines at speed 1 run at the same pace. An Ingot Factory 2 runs at twice the speed of the 1, and a 3 runs at 8 times the speed of the 1. Now let's look over here at infinity expansions, and let's go look at the Ingot Former. Oh, I'm on infinity. Let me go back. There we go. So the Ingot Former runs 1 time speed, and that's very deceiving, this 1 time speed. It is 6 times, right? It's 6 Ingot Factory 2s are included in here. So you think off the bat, well, maybe it's not that fast, right? Well, trust me, it is. The only downside to this is it takes 2 dust to get 1 ingot. So when you put in 8 dust, you're going to get 4 ingots out. So it does consume twice the amount of raw material, but at a significantly faster pace. That's what you get. It gets a little sloppy when you get a little fast. But when you get to the ultimate one in the infinity, 16 times the Ingot Former speed. All right. Now it does take 6 of those machines, as well as a lot of void and infinity ingots and a couple of machine circuits. But when you look up and what this thing's capable of doing, you're going to find out it's worth it. 64 dust into 64 ingots. Not bad. And if I remember right, you're going to just be blown away at how fast this runs. So all I need to do, just like previously, is drop down this cargo manager, and it's going to start everything up. So I'm going to go ahead and drop one down, get my timer going, and I'll be back with the numbers. Wow, guys, I hope you're ready for some amazing results. So let's start with the Ingot Factory level 1. As you can see, it's pretty slow, right? We all know it's automation when you first begin. And so it's okay, it's not going to go that fast. It makes 1 ingot approximately every 10.8 seconds. Nothing to brag home about, right? Let's go over to Ingot Factory 2. Now this one is running a little bit faster, and this time I decided to let you guys see this. I wanted you to see just from a comparison standpoint. In this case, the Ingot Factory 2 makes 1 every 6 seconds. So we're almost double the speed. Again, remember, there is that there's that Slimefun tick where the machine needs to move the items from one to the other side. So being a 2 times speed machine, we really essentially are there. It's just a fraction off, by not even worth mentioning. All right, how about Ingot Factory 3? Now we really start to crank up the speed. You can see it's visually much faster. Every 2.4 seconds, we're getting 1. So when we talk about an 8 times speed, initially you're talking about 10.2 seconds with that Slimefun tick for the item to actually smelt it, versus 1.8 seconds to process it without the smelting here. 8 times faster, pretty close. It's not quite 8, but again, there's just that tiny little bit. It's got to process it. So we're moving the one that's in there out and one that's in there in. So it is pretty close to an actual 8 times speed. Now when we get to infinity, these things crank. So when we talk about the ingot former, the initial level 1, it's already done. I can't even show you everything because it's already processed it. This here, I'll tell you what, we'll change this to kind of steal from the other machine. It's for every Slimefun tick. So every 0.6 seconds, it's pulling 8 dust into 4 ingots. Just to give you a comparison, the level 3 Ingot Factory, remember, and this is including the time to move it, right? This isn't even, there's no time to move it. It's every 0.6 seconds it's coming out. So 4 times, this is crazy, 4 times faster than a level 3, and it's producing 4 times the resources. So it's 16 times faster on ingot production, but it uses twice as many resources to get there. So overall, it's 8 times more efficient. So what about the infinity ingot former? Well, this finished the double chest. You ready for this? This was, I kid you not, this was so crazy just how fast this went. All right. It cleared out 54 stacks, right? In 32.4 seconds. Again, 0.6 seconds. So if an ingot farmer, the original one, is 8 times more efficient, 16 times faster and 8 times more efficient, including the speed, than a level 3. A level of the infinity ingot former produces 16 times the material with only 6 additional machines. But you do have all the other void and ingot, infinity ingots that go into the recipe. How much faster is it than a level 3 Ingot Factory? Well, again, it processes 64 times the resources in a quarter of the time. 256 times more efficient than a level 3. Compare it to a level 2, it is 10 times faster, producing 64 times the resources. So if over a level 3, 256 times faster. Over level 2, 640 times faster. We're getting up there, right? 18 times speed-wise faster than a level 1. So 18 times 64. When you talk about efficiency, 1,152 times faster than this baby right here. Man, I'll tell you, I want some ingot power, that's for sure. We're going infinity. I don't see any other option there. A lot of resources, a lot of materials, but then you think about the demands on the server, right? The server I play on, the Royale MC server, actually has a level 4 Ingot Factory that produces 2.5 times faster roughly than a level 3. I had 45 of those machines. I cleared them all out for 10 ingot formers, not even the infinity ones, just 10 ingot formers. So these faster machines in Infinity Expansion actually, in a way, do benefit the game because you don't need as many machines, therefore you reduce lag on the server. It increases your FPS, it increases the server TPS, and you get production done a lot faster. Now, let's talk. We do need to talk about power, though, right? When we're talking about power needs, let's come back here. So the ingot former is 400 joules per second, whereas the infinity one is 12,000. So here's the downside. It's 30 times more power usage with using 6 of these in its recipe. So that would have been 2,400. But this one requires 12,000. Now you are getting double the resources converted. So for that case, we'll say 4,800. So power-wise, it is much pricier. What about the ingot factories in comparison for the ingots? Okay, 8 joules. So the ingot former uses 50 times the power against level 1, roughly 35 times the power, now 29 times the power of level 2. and 10 times the power of an Ingot Factory 3. So if you've got the power production, if you can drop down one of these, you're fine. Even if you can drop down a couple of void panels. 3 void panels will run the infinity one. So you're talking 4 machines to get this. Okay? And by the way, the nice thing about this one is it doesn't matter which dust comes in. So you can rotate it out too. You don't have to just run one dust. At that rate, you can simply rotate things. So 3 void panels and one of these versus if you were running level 3s, all right? And you wanted to get the same processing power out of this by using level 3s, again, 4 times faster, 256 times the resources. 256 machines. 1 machine. Be friendly to your servers. If you're playing with Infinity Expansion, definitely run the Infinity, or at least a minimum the Ingot Formers. Again, they will still give you 4 times the speed. You'll get 16 times the resources. So you've got to run 16 Ingot Factory 3s to equal one of these. Again, be nice to your fellow server teammates. Less machines, more power. Guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, man, when you're making them ingots, you got to go boomer or you got to go home. We'll see you later.